Hey everybody, welcome to What Drives Us. My name is Russell Frost, and I have a review of the Arcimoto FUV, and that stands for Fun Utility Vehicle, just for the record. So let's get into that, shall we? Yes, we shall. Okay, let's do it. Back at the beginning of July, my wife and I went down to San Diego to the rental location where we could pick up an FUV and drive it for the day. We ended up only driving for a few hours, but in that time, downtown, not rural streets, but less urban streets, on the highway, on the Coronado Bay Bridge and Coronado Island. We went all over the place and really gave the FUV a run for its money, as it were. I feel like I have a good feel, as much as you can get in a single day. Normally when I do reviews, I like to have the vehicle for a week, but that's not possible right now with Arcimoto, and that's okay. I certainly don't hold that against them. I feel like I got a good handle on the vehicle in the first few hours. So let's talk about it. First off, three-wheeled vehicle in California. You do not need a motorcycle license for it. So anybody can get in one of these, whether it's a rental or you're buying it. You get in the thing and start it and you go. A little scary because I think there's a learning curve with this vehicle. And while that's not a horrible thing, it's not as friendly as I expected it to be right away. Part of that, so two wheels in front, one drive wheel in back. Okay, the two wheels in front are controlled by handlebars, standard motorcycle handlebars with a throttle on the handlebar. That is, it doesn't really have like legit power steering. So at slow speeds, it's difficult to turn. It's difficult to maneuver. And what you would think would be a very agile vehicle at very slow speeds turns out not to be an agile vehicle. Mark did tell me in our subsequent conversation that that's going to change a little bit. They're working on some software fixes for that, and I'm sure that they probably can. I don't know to what extent they can address that issue. Will it seem like it has power steering? I don't know. Would that be helpful? Yes, I think it would be hugely helpful, especially for new drivers. More experienced drivers may not ever have a problem and may not want power steering. So I do want to put that in there because I think it's important. The other thing, acceleration. It is not the super torquey, quick electric EV grin inducing machine that a lot of electric vehicles are. Again, Mark has told me that some of this is going to be addressed at that end of July software update that they did. This was after I had my test with it. That may or may not be the case. I don't know. I'm not an advocate of everybody getting the fastest vehicle they can get because we don't need it and it leads to lots of problems. So I'm okay with the acceleration curve on this vehicle, but I do think it's worth mentioning that it's not that sort of super zippy, ultra fast kind of experience that you might be thinking you're going to get when you get in this vehicle. Once you get it up to speed, once you get up past, 20 miles an hour, it accelerates pretty quickly. And on the highway, it accelerates well. There is not a problem of it being a wimpy vehicle. It's just the way that they have the acceleration curve in it might deserve a second look. So, good things about the FUV. It's electric. Yay! The three wheels are cool. It's stable. If you're not super stable, if you're not confident on a motorcycle or a scooter and you want something that'll stand up all on its own, here we go. That isn't a car. That isn't a 5,000-pound car. For a lot of uses, the Arcimoto FUV could be an incredibly wonderful vehicle. Concerns. the range is very limited. I was concerned about the efficiency of the vehicle. When we checked it out, I think it had 80 miles on it. We drove it no more than 20, and we killed at least half the range. That tells me, to whatever extent that observation is valid, that it's not as efficient as it could be. It's not using the electricity that it has in the manner that it thinks. Now, or was it telling me that I was driving it really hard? Maybe, but no harder than any other tourist might drive that vehicle. So I'm not going to go with the thing that I beat it up, and that's why the range plummeted. I think it's just something that Arcimoto needs to work on. Other things not so good. So originally, Arcimoto, when they made this, when they introduced this three-wheeled electric vehicle, they were talking about a goal of an $11,000 vehicle that would be electric and that would be cool and have the roll cage. A super idea, especially back in like 2011. Now we're talking about a vehicle that is made in limited production. It starts, I think, at $18,000, around there in the high teens, and goes into the mid 20s, depending on the configuration. We're talking about a vehicle that really competes price-wise with a full-size four-wheel car. For instance, the brand new 2022 base level Nissan Leaf nets down to 20 grand. You got 20 grand. Now, 25,000 nets down to about 18,000. 18,000 for a three-wheeled FUV or 20,000 for a four-wheeled Nissan Leaf. My concern isn't that there aren't people that will choose both. There are, and that's really awesome. My concern is that an $18,000 Arcimoto isn't super competitive. And I want it to be competitive because I want people to buy them and use them. I'd love to see millions of these bad boys all over the place. Will it happen? I don't know. I have concerns. By its very definition, by its design, it is a limited range vehicle, or geographically limited, I mean. In other words, it's basically a Sunbelt vehicle. People in International Falls, Minnesota and Montana aren't going to be as excited to ride this thing, which right now has no HVAC. The one I was in has no doors. It would be really cold. And in the summer, guess what? It's really hot. People want something enclosed that will protect them from climate when they have it. Now, for those of us blessed to live in places like San Diego, you can ride the Arcimoto probably 350 days a year. No big deal. But again, that limits the potential group of owners, right? Because that guy in International Falls or that woman in Maine isn't going to be as happy riding an Arcimoto in January as I'm going to be riding it in January here in San Diego. Keep in mind, what I want this to be a popular mainstream vehicle. I had a lot of fun with it. Went, as I said, all over, all different kinds of driving. I was a little surprised that it wasn't as friendly to a new driver as it could have been. Some of that may have been addressed by software updates. Some of that may just be part of the design. It's going to be different. So that's okay. That's okay. In the end, I think Arcimoto's onto something. I think this is the really hard part for me, because I kind of feel like they're stuck in an architecture that they can't get out of because it's what they are: handlebars, three wheels, and electric, which I want, right? But it's not helping them. It's giving them some challenges which may or may not be surmountable from an engineering standpoint, from a marketing standpoint. I hope not. I desperately hope not. I want to thank Mark Furmeyer once again for setting up the rental, for having a chat with me on the day that I rode afterwards to give me some updates on how the Arcimoto FUV will progress. Definitely check him out if you're in Key West or in San Diego and you have a chance to rent one and ride around in it, do it. Let me know what you think. If you're an Arcimoto owner, I would love to chat with you or see your comments on what an ownership experience is like. How do you feel about it 6 months later, a year later? Are you still using it, or are you only using it for certain things? Do drop me a line or in the comments, and I would love to chat with you. Thanks so much for watching this review. You can always follow us online all over social media at What Drives Us. And of course, on YouTube here, youtube.com/What Drives Us. Do please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you like this video, share it with your friends. We need the help. It costs nothing. And that support is huge for us through YouTube. So do like and subscribe if you'd be so kind. Thanks so much for watching. And until next time, drive safe.